You're tuned in to the DMV Hoops Podcast.
This is John the Scripter, head girls basketball coach at St. John's College High School, and this is the DMV Hoops Podcast.
Welcome to the DMV Hoops Podcast, the DMV's home for high school basketball. Hosted by Kurt Cross and featuring Chelsea Cross. We bring you the latest news, interviews, rankings, recruiting buzz, and standout performances from the public and private school basketball scene across Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Stream us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Buzzsprout, YouTube, and everywhere podcasts are heard. Now, let's get into it. Here's your host, Kurt Cross.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DMV Hoops Podcast. As always, I am Kurt Cross. She is
Chelsea Cross.
And there's only one way for us to kick off this season. Our first interview of the season will be none other than a gentleman who we know a little bit about, Coach Bohlen from the Landon School. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, everybody. How you guys doing?
We are doing fine. Coach, I want to get right into it. Number one, your team just got off the court. Now, I know it's a young season, and I know they were shorthanded, but John Handley scored the fewest points they've scored so far in this summer league season against your team. They put up 36 against your, 80. One thing I want to talk about is little by little, as you've walked the halls of Landon, my son was in your program for a couple of years. All I'm seeing is steps being taken in the right direction, little by little. Now, before I get you to jump in here, what I saw today, and maybe this is your DNA, and if it is, that means you're doing it right. I saw a lot of defense. Yeah. Is that what we're stressing here?
We are definitely trying to really develop an identity on the defensive end of the court. We want to play aggressive. We want to use our depth. We want to use our length to try and disrupt the other opponent's offenses as much as we possibly can. And I thought tonight was a great example of that. It had a number of shot clock violations. And the guys really were rotating well, communicating well with each other, and those are all signs of really positive things to come.
You mentioned shot clock violations, and that's one thing I wanted to stress, because in that final minute, you guys are up by a few points here. You guys got a shot clock violation. What does that say about this team and how you kind of keep working them even when you guys are up by so many points?
Yeah, this is a fantastic group of kids. They've really invested in getting better in the offseason, skill development starting in March, a couple of weeks after the season ended. We were back in our breakfast club and working in the weight room, and a lot of these guys ran track, which did a tremendous, was a huge boost for them. Coach Gagnon and his program with the track team did a tremendous job working with our guys, and it's just a real compliment to them. They really are focused on trying to play the right way and develop positive habits that are going to carry over into the IAC season. And I'm looking forward to seeing what this group can do.
Now, Coach, let's talk IAC. You brought it up. I want to talk about it. You took the IAC champs, Georgetown Prep, to overtime more than once. You played well with them. Obviously, you took them into overtime. I don't want to take away from your graduate, but you didn't graduate many kids.
Correct.
So you're bringing everybody back.
We're bringing everybody back.
And you're adding some pieces, I'm imagining.
Yeah, UB Zaid was obviously a heart and soul of the team from the point guard position. He had a rough senior year with so many injuries,
yeah.
But just from a team culture standpoint, it's tough to graduate someone that had such an impact in such a short period of time.
And the year before that, you graduated your boy who's at Harvard, right?
Yeah, Frankie Menino.
I mean, you graduated some big names, but you're reloading.
Yeah, and the kids have really stepped up to that leadership challenge to try and fill that void. Eli McQueen has just done an absolutely phenomenal job filling in that leadership role, demanding that guys get in the gym, guys put the work in, and he's really been a huge part of building our culture.
Well, here's what I saw today. I saw you take out 5 and sub in 5, and you didn't lose much. While I was watching, it went from a 17-point lead to a 15-point lead. And I imagine that second 5 were maybe some of your younger guys. I did see your son out there. Yeah. He looks like he's getting more mature. So
slowly but surely.
What about the future of this team? You're playing so young.
Yeah.
getting them burned on this court is going to get them older. But what is the strategy here?
It's one of the things I love about coming out here and competing every year. Mark Stern does such a phenomenal job putting this league together, and the matchups that we get are really going to challenge our guys. It's a tremendous environment for basketball. They can get a chance to watch other teams play, to see the standard that we're trying to achieve each and every night that we step on the court. So it's hopefully they're learning a lot. It's great to win games, but we obviously want to make sure that we're internalizing a lot of the lessons that we're learning so we can have a great start to 26, 27.
And I think a benefit of Summer League for Landon and any other team is that you guys can hopefully kind of get over some humps that teams that are not in Summer League might face in November. And I think Summer League really allows you guys to kind of smooth those out and really work through any issues you guys might have, which is really helpful, I assume.
It's a great microcosm for the coaches because we get a chance to see them play, 2 or 3 games in the span of a week, very similar to what we would do in a regular season. And it gives us a chance to really evaluate all these younger guys, see where they are, see how some of our older guys have developed. So it's a great learning lab. And it gives us as coaches a chance to really start to hone in on the kinds of things we think are going to be successful once the season starts.
2 things I see. First of all, I barely stopped calling Steece's name on the lacrosse field, and I did not know he played basketball. He dropped in 12 for you. His defense was nice.
Yeah.
His defense was nice tonight.
I love he really came on strong at the end of the season, was our 6th man. A guy that really changes the energy when he gets on the court because he's so competitive. Being a Division I lacrosse player, he really understands what it means to compete at a high level. He does all the things that you want as a coach to impact winning. So even if he's not scoring the basketball, he's a tremendous defensive role player. He rebounds the ball well. He runs the floor. And he's just the epitome of a great teammate.
I'm looking at your roster. Do the DeStefanos ever stop pouring into sports in the DMV? I did not know you had DeStefano.
We have Tony DeStefano's going to be joining us as a sophomore. He's a transfer from Damascus.
Right.
His father, Mark, and I actually worked together for a long time. He's one of my assistant coaches when I was at Wooten. And I've known him for years, and I'm just excited to be able to work with Tony. Thank God he takes after his mom, so it's a little bit easier to work with than his father was.
Right. Well, look, you've got 5 guys in double figures, and Emmanuel Coleman looks like he had an off night, but if he's pouring it in too, good Lord, how scary can this team be? I'm not asking for predictions, but how good do you feel about this team?
One of the things I love about this group, we've got a lot of versatility. There are a lot of interchangeable parts. And as the kids develop, as they work on their skills, as they work on their conditioning, as they hit the weight room in the summertime, I think that our ceiling could be pretty high this season. But at the end of the day, it takes amount of work, a level of investment. So I think these kids have the competitive character to do that. We just got to make sure we follow through on all this stuff and hold ourselves accountable to the standard that we're trying to create.
And I see you have some kids that played JV last year who, while they may continue to play JV, they're getting some summer league, bump.
Yeah.
And you're only going to get better by playing, right?
I think building a vertically aligned program through our entire school, we're blessed to have a 3rd grade through a 12th grade system at school at Landon, and it gives us an opportunity to really develop a feeder system, if you will, kind of the old school feeder system, and we're trying to take full advantage of that. And we've got some tremendous kids moving up from our middle school. We had a very strong JV season. A couple of the guys that are going to be joining us later this summer weren't here today.
Okay.
So I love the level of versatility and depth, and it's an exciting time to be a Bear. It's been a lot of fun working with these guys. It's a great community.
And you talk about this feeder kind of school/program. I think that also speaks kind of with the basketball program, as you were mentioning, because you have JV participate in Summer League as well.
Yeah.
So while the competition is higher during varsity Summer League, having their summers kind of taken up with basketball is not a shock.
Yeah, I think it speaks really volumes to the level of investment that the kids and the families want to put into basketball. And as long as we have guys that are willing to get out and work, we're going to continue to provide opportunities for them to challenge themselves and become curious about how good they could be.
Well, this team, like you said, they have a high ceiling. You played the IAC champs to overtime more than once, and I don't want to hear any wisecracks about.
My feelings here or something like that? I don't understand.
You hurt my feelings all the time. You hurt my feelings all the time.
I'm gonna go home, get out in the parking lot and start crying.
No, you would never do that. Landon's about character education. It's about the teacher, coach, mentor program. So it's important that folks know who don't know about Landon that you see them in the classroom as well. So you know who they are as people and young men.
Yeah, we really, just like I was coached and the way I was mentored when I was a young coach, basketball is merely a vehicle, a tool to help kids build their lives. We want to instill in them as many life lessons, use as many teachable moments as we possibly can throughout the course of their time with us. So, pouring into them off the court is equally, if not more important than on the court. And I think a lot of those lessons also carry over into the way we compete because the kids know it's about more than basketball, and they form bonds with each other that end up, allowing us to compete with at a pretty high level.
And this is the beginning of year 2 for you?
Start of year 3.
I'm sorry, start of year 3 for you.
Yeah.
We can see what it looks like. I will continue to tell you this, that there are people who have been in this program for years who said they've never been more excited than how excited they are right now for this program. You've got names like, first of all, I've seen Mark Goldman on this roster. Sundiata, again, he didn't have his greatest night, but you guys still played well, which means that you've got balance. Obviously, you've got Eli McQueen. Obviously, you've got Emmanuel Coleman. But Nico, he's a dynamic point guard. Zayden, we know what he can do.
Yep.
Steese, we talked about him. But you've got, Montague, he played well for you last year. And then you got Caden. Caden's a 6-foot-something kid who, gosh, once he figures it out, right?
Yeah,
once he figures it out.
Caden's an exciting prospect because he's so long.
Yeah, he is.
But more importantly, 6'6", 6'7". But more importantly, he's just a tremendous kid. His character really is going to set his ceiling. He loves the gym. He loves to work. He's always listening.
And we saw him get better from game 1 to game, 17 or 18 last year on the JV side.
Yeah, and he's got just a world of untapped potential, and I'm excited to see what he can do.
When he turns that corner, Coach, you're going to lick your chops, ain't you?
He's another kid that just provides that level of versatility that we really like and the kinds of players that we want to work with.
If Coach Bohlen has his way, what are we looking at in terms of what does success look like for Landon come November? Or should I say come March?
I'm greedy, so I'd like to think that we can compete, at the highest level of our conference. I think our conference is one of the best conferences in this entire area. We're deep, 1 through 6. The competition is...
Bullis just got a transfer.
Yeah, Bullis is fantastic. Bullis is always going to be there with Coach Kelly. The coaching in our league is second to none.
Yeah,
it's a very deep, well-coached, talented, athletic league, and it's an absolute battle every night. And it's, I think the margin of victory in our league last year for all of us was maybe plus or minus 5.5 points.
Competition is there.
So, yeah, it's, I'm just hoping we can really maximize our potential. If we do that, I think we'll have an opportunity to compete. But as I said, between now and March or February, it's going to take an awful lot of work.
So we want people to come out to 6101
Yes,
Wilson Lane.
Wilson Lane, but there's the Maryland.
And from what I hear, you might have a PA announcer who brings some energy if you can afford him.
There's a certain PA announcer who will go nameless that continues to work at other schools. But hopefully we can get his best.
Well,
we'll see what happens.
I know we're going to get your best.
We'll see what the negotiations hold in store.
Well, if food is on the table, I'm there. Give me a couple hot dogs, and I'm there. Coach, what do you want people to know about the Landon program? You got their ear right now.
It really is a community. It's a community effort. You mentioned a teacher, coach, mentor model. All of our teachers are all of our coaches, are all of our advisors and advisees, and it's a very unique environment in which we really get to talk about maximizing their entire performance portfolio. So we talk about their athletic side, of course, but certainly their academics, their character, their service, their leadership. We're trying to open as many doors as we possibly can for these kids, and then prepare them so that they're ready to actually step through those doors and take full advantage of the opportunities that we have.
Coach, I know a young bear named Adam who has you as a teacher. Is there going to be a tough final exam in history?
Adam has a paper due on Thursday, and there is no final exam.
All right, so if he can get that paper right, maybe he'll be in good shape.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Clearly, he takes after Dad. not like his amazing sister who's sitting next to me right now, and I gotta say congratulations on her graduation from the Holton Arms School.
She did that?
Fantastic.
She did that?
Takes after Mom. Makes sure she ignores Dad at all costs.
Man, you're just bringing it here. All right, well, I wish you well this summer league.
Thank you, sir.
What are we sitting on, 2-0, 3-0?
2-0.
2-0, all right, so I'd like to see you how about this? I'd like us to do this again on July 3rd.
That sounds like a plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the DMV Hoops Podcast. He's Coach Bohlen. She's Chelsea Cross. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to the DMV Hoops Podcast, your home for high school basketball coverage across the DMV. Be sure to subscribe, follow, and share the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube, Buzzsprout, and everywhere podcasts are heard. Follow us on Instagram and X at DMV Hoops Podcast. The DMV Hoops Podcast is hosted by Kurt Cross, featuring Chelsea Cross. Thanks for listening.